Alright everyone, welcome back to some more of the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolved. So we finally met up with Gina once more after a long while of not seeing her, and we also got to see the great exhibit for itself and do some investigating. So we're going to continue on from there and see where it goes, guys. So I hope you all continue to enjoy watching, and let's get to it. Alright guys, and we are back. Oh, we gotta continue the conversation with Gregson over here. Remind me again, what's this new legal act that means we're not allowed to touch the scene here? Are you having me at it, Sunshine? It's the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. Yes, I think Hurley mentioned that recently, with a real twinkle in his eye as I remember. I'm sure he did, your ladyship. I'm sure he did. Passed especially for this great exhibition it was. All scientists have to do is present their ideas for inventions to some suits in the civil service. And if it gets rubber stamped, that's a guarantee of rights to maintain the invention's confidentiality. What does that really mean? Think about it. Think of all the world-changing new inventions on display every day at this exhibition. Although a good half of them are a load of cobblers, if you ask me, put forward by shammers like yourself. Thanks for that. Oh, I love how absurd some of the inventions here are. It's all fun. It might be fun for you, but a member of the force has to be present at every single demonstration. Can you imagine that? Hang science, that's what I say. Oh, I don't think so. That sounds like my dream job. You'd soon think otherwise after spending a day guarding all these shammers' bogus contraptions. But if they're all bogus, how can anyone hope to demonstrate them? There'd be no point. Yeah, well, there is a point, sadly. Sorry? Oh, messed up on that. Hold on a second. Thanks to another of our government's bright ideas. If any theory or invention is deemed to show potential, the government hands out a research grant. The scientists get funding? Exactly, and that's what they're all after. All these shammers coming from afar and wide to clog up Hyde Park. And who has to keep them all safe, huh? Who has to smile politely and welcome them? Us coppers, that's who. So you can see why I say it now, can't ya? Hang science! Hang it! Oh, maybe I can see your point. Professor Harebrain. Apparently Professor Harebrain lives and works in Germany now conducting his research. That's right. Came back to Brain especially for the great exhibition as I understand it. Probably after one of the government's research grants. Actually, we learned something else about the professor earlier today. About his time in further education, it turns out he was at university with someone we both know. Lord Van Zeeks. What's that? That's news to me. But if Van Zeeks mans the prosecution, then, as the accused, the professor's fate is sealed, because the Reaper will get him one way or another? Blimey, that man's beyond me. I don't know what goes on in that head of his. Talking to Van Zeeks, this morning's paper ran the story of him being attacked. Read that? Oh yes, but Mr. Reaper is completely fine. Nothing to worry about. Yes, right. Glad to hear it. Still, the Reaper, huh? How long is that business gonna keep up, I wonder? Oh, we got the special fourth version, or fourth option. The victims of this case, the investor, Mr. Asman. He was another of the Reaper's victims, or so I heard. Lord Barak Van Zeeks is top-class prosecutor, but even he can't always push the right verdict through. Sometimes justice can't win. Yes, I've heard about jurors being bribed and evidence being falsified. And that's how the notion of the Reaper of the Bailey came about, isn't it? Obviously, Scotland Yard suspected Van Zeeks initially. We all assumed he was taking matters into his own hands if he failed to seal the deal in court. Although the man himself denies that charge. Well, we've done a very thorough investigation, and the conclusion we reached is that Lord Van Zeeks is in no way related to the deaths of those people outside the courtroom. There's no question in my mind. I'd stake my reputation on it, I would. But if that's true, then how do you explain it? All those defendants couldn't just have coincidentally died if nobody killed them. I know that, but I can't explain it. It's my mystery after all, isn't it? It's a mystery, sorry. That's the whole point of the Reaper. Professor Harebrain mentioned something else. He said that at university, Lord Van Zieks was a totally different person, easygoing and kind. You what? He said that it was after they both graduated that something happened to change the man. Do you have any idea what it was? No clue. Really? Look, I've got my hands full watching over this frustrating crime scene. Why don't you go and make a nuisance of yourself elsewhere, huh? Are we good here? Interesting. There are all sorts of strange buildings here in the Great Exhibition Grounds, aren't there? I seem to remember something similar being exhibited in Japan one time. Oh, in your country, Runo? I do wish I could go and see it. I messed that up again, hold on. I present a particularly steely samurai with a present of one of Hurley's stories I've written especially. And see if I couldn't get Hurley into a jam against some Bartitsu master ninja. You might not find as many of those sorts of people around as you think. Oh, well that's dull. Oh, but I do know a prosecutor with a Chunmage top knot I could introduce you to. A Chunmage, really? Do you think I could have my picture taken with him, do you? Assuming he's recovered from the trim Kazuma gave him a year ago, yes. We can examine the machine. Considering how badly damaged everything is, Professor Harebrain was lucky to escape unscathed, I'd say. We should have a good look around the machine while we can, I think. Touch anything and I'll make sure I'll kill you before I get strung up myself, you hear? I won't touch a thing, I promise, so please spare a thought for your digestion. Anyway, do you really think this machine could actually disassemble people like the professor claims? He asks, looking totally incredulous. Give it a rest, Sunshine. If we were allowed to examine all this bleeding scrap metal, maybe we could answer that question. But we can't, can we? Because of the annoying rules, you mean? Exactly! The annoying, obstructive, flaming rules. Oh, look at the base of the machine there. Oh yes, there's a tool of some kind poking through the wire mesh. It's a screwdriver, I think. Oh, isn't it a lovely one? The handle's in the shape of a capital letter A. It is? Oh, yes, you're right. What's the matter with you? Don't touch anything, I said. Touch anything and I'll make sure I'll kill you before I get strung up myself, I said. Yes, yes, I understand. Sorry. I only touched it a teeny weeny bit. But Gregsy, I'm very curious about the screwdriver. Really very, very curious. Of course, your ladyship. You're so clever. Fancy spotting something like this. But I'm afraid I can't let you have it. But Runo found it first. I assure you, I'll investigate it thoroughly. He's gone off with it. That was very mean, I'm afraid. Inspector Gregson's gonna make a very clumsy and embarrassing mistake in next month's installment now. Poor Gregsy. Right. Are you done here, Mr. Naruhodo? Sorry? Is it about time you were leaving? Or rather, it is about time you were leaving? That lot are here now. That lot? The forensic investigation team. They'll be giving me the heave-ho in a minute, too. Oh dear, poor Gregsy. Here, have another cup of my special blend to cheer you up. Ah, that hit the spot. Yep, hits it every time. Well, at least I've seen that scene with my own eyes. Looks like this is as far as we're gonna get with our investigation here, at least. I've been thinking. Hurley might know something, mightn't he? About what? About Mr. Reaper. About what happened to Lord Van Zieks, you mean? Because it sounds like something very significant occurred after he graduated from university. Something that completely changed his life. Maybe, but I have no idea where to find Mr. Sholmes at the moment. He's in the middle of some big case, isn't he? Here, this is what you need. What's this? Some kind of entrance ticket? Madame Tusspells. Is this supposed to mean something to me? You don't know it? It's the most popular attraction in London at the moment. It's very close to Baker Street, actually. You could go now if you like. No, we don't have time for visiting attractions today, Iris. We have a big trial tomorrow. But that's where Hurley is. What? At this popular London attraction? Yes. How is it that you know where he is? Hurley told me, but he told me to keep it a secret from you, Runo. Madame Tusspells. I don't see how it could be related to the case we're investigating here, but then stranger things have happened. And when they happen, Mr. Sholmes is usually at the heart of them. Okay. A new location. Wait, before I even do that, did I examine everything? Can I examine anymore? Oh, I can! Beautiful. Let's check this out. That amazing horn-shaped device is pointing towards the Crystal Tower. I suppose once people are disassembled by the machine, they're shot out of that thing to wherever they're going. I don't think it was supposed to shoot anything, Runo. It was set up to beam people to the Crystal Tower where they'd be reconstructed in their original form. Well, I don't like the look of it. If it was as amazing as it looks, the accident wouldn't have happened in the first place, of course. I suppose that's true, yes. But nothing ever goes according to plan, does it? Interesting. I'm trying to think of this, see if there's anything else for me to examine here. We're good. Thing to examine on this end. We are good. Alright, cool. (22nd of October), Madame Tusspells Museum of Waxworks. What is this place? Look at all these terrifying scenes. But why are the people so still? Guillotines, ruthless murderers. I know what I'll be dreaming about tonight. They're all wax models. They're amazingly realistic, aren't they? What do you think, Runo? Shocked? Wax models? I read about the dead bodies and wax once in a magazine about strange phenomena. Depending on how corpses are kept after death, parts of them can turn to wax apparently. It's called adiposity. Stop talking about creepy things like that, Runo. You're scaring me. Anyway. What now? I've just remembered something else I read in another magazine about strange phenomena. There was an old lady, maybe a witch, who used to pour molten wax over corpses and put them on display. None of the exhibits in here are real. They're all entirely man-made replicas. They can't be. Do you really expect me to believe that? Just look at them. Oh. There's no way anybody can make models of people that are this realistic. And they're all such gruesome scenes. Wait. What is it? Oh, no. I must be seeing things. Alright, let's see what we can examine before I talk to this dude here. Oh, that's a funny place for a little ladder. What is it? Is something wrong? No, it's just that in Japanese we have a totally different word for a ladder that folds in half like that. We do in English too, you know? It's a stepladder, or just steps. So be careful of making assumptions about about other cultures, Runo. That's how wars are started. I didn't realize stepladders were an international point of contention, but the writer makes an astute point. Let's examine the Sholmes quote-unquote statue, which he isn't. It's the great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes has his own wax statue in here? Really? Well, he is world famous after all. It's an uncanny resemblance, isn't it? It makes my skin crawl to look at it. I know. But look, Bruno, you can kick this Hurley and he doesn't move a muscle. You can't go around kicking the exhibits, Iris. Wait. It just moved, I'm sure. And not just a little bit either. Really? Did it? And look closely. There are beads of sweat on the face of this waxwork model. His eyes moved too, by the way. Shall we move on, Iris? Over there, look! There's a great murder scene to enjoy, much more appealing! Hold it! My dear fellow, I take exception to your recoiling in such a manner as if you've seen something truly abhorrent. Mr. Sholmes! I knew it! Iris, what possessed you? I strictly forbade you from divulging my temporary waxwork secret to Mr. Naruhodo. Temporary waxwork? What do you mean? And that kick! Could you not have exercised a little more restraint? You winded me! But Bruno has something he needs to ask you. Ah, a question. And I thought you'd probably be getting bored too. So here we are. Well, I can't deny that your timing was impeccable. A mere 2 minutes more being stationary like that. And my great brain, upon which all my success has been built, would have turned to wax. Thank goodness we arrived in time. Indeed, in many ways, the pair of you just saved the world from an unimaginable loss. Oh, Hurley, you do like to talk nonsense, don't you? Oh, hold on. I messed up on that one. He could know something, it's true, about Lord Van Zieks and what happened in the past to change him. Now that you're here, let's take our time. How can I be of assistance? For you're in luck, I'm suddenly quite taken with the idea of conversing. Oh, well, actually, I'm in quite a hurry. And if my eyes don't deceive me, I believe something is afoot within the walls of this very museum. A most fascinating case, if I'm not mistaken. Really? Moreover, I have a strong suspicion that it is related to the matter about which you've come to me now. But how could it be? We shall speak again presently, my dear fellow. But for now, I must return to my work. What? Back to being a temporary wax? Wow, I cannot read today. What, back to being a temporary wax exhibit? That was, weird. Alright, Madame Tusspells. What is this place? Madame Tusspells came to London from France 3 years ago, I understand. Since she opened this little waxwork museum last year, it's enjoyed great popularity in London. There are museums like this in Japan too, but these displays are something else. I mean, they aren't made from actual people, are they? The extreme realism of these waxwork models is a particular secret of the Tusspells family, they say. They earned renown during the French Revolution for waxworks of victims of the guillotine. That sounds grim. The gruesome scenes were portrayed with such realism in the expressions of the faces of the condemned. Apparently, the sculptors would make the models directly from the corpses right there at the site of the execution. That really turns my stomach. That's just one of the several legends about the Tusspells family. Whether there's any truth in it, I couldn't say. But anyway, this museum houses models of famous people from all over the globe. Nevertheless, the most popular area of the museum by quite some margin is this House of Horrors. House of Horrors? Of course. Visitor numbers are dwindling now as a result of the Great Exhibition, but people usually flock here to see the exhibits of some of London's most vile criminals at their gruesome work. Naturally, most of the miscreants portrayed here were sent to the gallows. So they're even stiffer now than the models of them. Have you heard of poor taste? My dear fellow, the public live for poor taste. They yearn to be shocked. So the hideous exhibits in here they're all portrayals of real events that actually took place. Is it just me? Or did the temperature in here just seem to drop? Anyway, I advise you not to think too deeply about what you see here. Oh, now he's back to being a wax model. Okay. Alright guys, I'm going to end the video here for today. Thank you all for watching. When we come back, we're going to continue interrogating Mr. Holmes over here, and hopefully we can get to the next trial. So with that said, thank you all, and until the next one.